Howdy peeps, another video here with me, Lois, once again. Now this has been quite a mission to get a video uploaded these last few days, and I feel there was a reason for that. So this is the video you are getting to watch. The first one did not upload. It just kept freezing and crashing. So I took that as a sign that I was meant to record another one. Second one, again, just was on pause the whole time, just kept saying pending. So delete that one. Again, felt that actually it was not the right video to share. Now, the reason I wanted to upload those videos and share them initially was because I was actually going through something that links to the title of this video. And I've been having a massive purge. A lot of negativity and a lot of shit's been coming up, and I've been purging and processing and letting it go, and there's been a lot of snot crying, there's been a lot of anger, frustration, pain, hurt, grief. There's just been so much coming up for me, but I like to share the raw, unfiltered, authentic parts of me because I think it's important. And again, that was the real emphasis behind the video, was that I wanted you guys to see that it happens to everyone, because so many coaches and so many like mindset people, inspirational people, they show you them when they're in this state of being, you know, this real like powerful go-getter, you know, I can manifest anything I want, I can have anything I want, you know, life is easy for me kind of thing. And it can be really deflating if you're going through a lot right now. So I really wanted to share that. So just for you guys, here's a couple of clips from those previous videos, just so you know what the heck I was looking like. Excuse the bed head, and apologies for the really bad under eye bags, but I've spent the last few days quite heavily purging. Feel like the person that you so love and you so care about and that you have given your all to for almost a year can just cut you off like that. Just act like they don't care, like you don't exist. And what's harder is that that person doing it knows exactly what it feels like to be cut off and abandoned. And this time they chose to do that. It wasn't a knee-jerk reaction, they chose it. I wasn't in a very good place. Let's just say that. So anyway, introduction. I'm Lois. I'm an empowerment and mindset coach. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. For returning visitors, hello again. Yeah, listen, I'm human at the end of the day. I'm soul, just like all of us, but I'm also human. I have emotions and I have thoughts. I'm not infallible. I'm not flawless. I'm not perfect. And I shouldn't fucking be, because that's part of the joy of the journey of life, is learning and growing and evolving and all of those things. And we're all just trying to do our best, right? We're all doing our best. And again, that was the reason I wanted you to see me in that broken state, because I think it just helps to resonate. When you're going through tough times and you don't feel like you've got your shit together, and then there's someone all happy and smiley on the other side, you know, it can feel hard work. So yes, I'm going to explain very briefly what I've been going through the past few days, and essentially what I would say are the key steps that I'm going to share with you guys that will get you to turn any painful situation, any painful emotion, into your power, so that you can use it as a motivational tool to push you through and level you up and elevate and come out stronger and more secure and more stable and in such a better state. And this also ties in with manifesting. It is a very crucial point I'm going to make towards the end about why this is so essential for anything that you're manifesting. So now I'm going to do a separate video on this with regards to manifesting specific people, because this is what caused me to spiral. So somebody I've been connected to for almost a year. We started romantically. They wanted to stay just friends, so we went down that road. I developed stronger feelings, and they just couldn't meet me at that level, but we carried on being friends. We got, in fact, I believe we got very close. It was such a strong, deep connection. We would talk all day, every day, video chat, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day sometimes, constantly. And they were going through an ego death. In fact, they've been through a few. We triggered each other a lot, but that was all part of the healing. And this was at a time where I was in a really good place, so I was able to support him, and I stuck by him through so much. And he started out great, but then it soon became apparent he had a lot of avoidance, and that became a real issue. But we tried to work through it, and I tried to be patient because I knew what they were going through. I knew their past, and I just knew that they were just functioning from their wounding, from their programming. So it wasn't them. But when you're facing things in the 3D, it's very, very hard to overlook it. So yeah, I literally gave my all and everything to this person, and I'm not sure whether they even really recognize or appreciate that, but I did. I threw everything at this, and I was so invested. But they just weren't quite reciprocating the same way. And I think as part of my healing process, that not being chosen, of feeling rejected, the whole abandonment issues and things, because this is the 3rd time they've done a runner now, whenever I've expressed my needs and my feelings and the pressure's got too much. So yeah, I would definitely say, it hasn't been easy going from either of us when I've triggered him and he's triggered me, and it's equal parts here, but I can only express how I felt in the situation. And there was so much disrespect that I felt, and I know most parts it wasn't intentional, but as a protective mechanism for him, it resulted in me having to feel the brunt of that and get the real sharp end of the stick. And it was hard, and I've forgiven, and I've tried to see past a lot of things, and I just got to a point where I just couldn't anymore. I couldn't stand the lack of intention, and it just wasn't growing, it wasn't developing. They'd get to a point of healing, and then they would stop, and then it would go again, then they would stop, and I just wanted to keep growing. And I just decided, I said, look, I can't give you any more of my energy and my effort, because you're getting all the benefits from me and it's not being reciprocated, and it just doesn't feel aligned, it doesn't feel fair. I want more from this, and yeah, so I'm just going to now respond. I'm going to give you the same effort and energy you give me. And it didn't go down too well, so they went. Now, unlike the first 2 times, and the funny thing about this is it happens like clockwork every 3 months. So the first time, in fact, every time they've gone into running away, they've always run towards other people, generally women. And first time, it was dating apps. I managed to overcome that, and I forgave the situation. Again, we weren't dating, it was just a friendship at this point, and me supporting him, but my feelings were still there, and he knew how I felt. So that was really fucking heartbreaking. And then the second time, it was very hostile, and I felt like I was being left as an option, as a side piece. They were constantly going off with other people and ignoring me, and it just felt shit again. So we stopped talking, reconnected gradually, and then everything seemed to be going really, really well. And I noticed a lot of my thinking and my thoughts and my beliefs coming back up again, of not feeling chosen, not being prioritized, not feeling special, not feeling wanted or loved or appreciated. All these things were coming up, and I was starting to see more of it being reflected in his behaviors. But you can't excuse that everybody has a choice. This is the free will that people have. We all have choice at the end of the day. And this last one really was what hurt me, because when they left this time, we left on good terms. Decided he actually wanted to go off on a journey and go explore new things and go find his people. And he wanted to really get into fitness and wanted to be around fitness people. And I'd actually encouraged this months ago, so I sort of instigated this. And I wished him well, he wished me well, and said, you know, we'll just have to see what happens. And I know and I trust that we will reconnect at some point. But as part of that, he said, I don't think I can take people with me, so I need to leave you behind. And there's another friend that he has connections with through a hiking group, but they also do something to do with hiking as a collective. So, you know, there had been jealousy from my side towards this friend, because again, he was always making effort for them and didn't feel like he was doing the same for me, making excuses all the time about the distance and all the rest of it, so much. So he said, well, I'm going to actually step back from that person as well and some other people. I'm just going to go and find myself. And I was like, okay. But it soon became apparent last week that rather than stepping back from this person, he seems to have actually jumped further towards them. In what capacity that is, I don't know. Now, I'm pleased to see him getting on. I'm pleased to see that he's, you know, actually making an effort now with that group, that he's actually getting involved. He's, you know, he seems to be getting engaged with it. And I get it that now he hasn't got me. I don't want him to be on his own. I want him to be with friends. So I'm glad that he's gone towards people that, you know, he's got a friendship with who can support him. But it felt like he just blatantly lied to my face. And the trust was already tricky for me. And this was like the nail in the coffin. This didn't just break my heart, it broke my trust. And it still gets me now. Still does. But circumstances don't matter, and they change all the time. It's an ever-changing world. Every day is different. So I've had to process an awful amount of grief to go through the process of feeling sad, feeling angry, feeling resentful. I've called him every name under the sun. I've had a lot of tears and a lot of pain come up. And I've only now just got to this place where I woke up today and I could feel my mood had shifted and I could feel lighter. I could feel like I could breathe again. I didn't feel suffocated by it. And I was so ill yesterday. I had shivers, I had fever. It was just all coming out of me. All this negativity, all this dis-ease in my body. My nervous system was broken. And it's been fucking awful, but so beautiful at the same time. Anyone going through this won't understand that. If you have been through an ego death or you've been through these purges, you will know that after you come out of it, it is freaking amazing. You get such an uplift. But while you're going through it and you're getting caught up in it and you're getting stuck and fixated on it, you will keep repeating. And I want to help you so that you don't keep repeating, so that you can shift through these triggers and these painful purges and come out of it with so much more strength and power and tenacity and resilience. At the end of the day, it's about resilience, because tough shit's going to happen all the time for the rest of your life. You have to learn and master how to work through it and use it to your advantage. Don't see it as the enemy. And that was the clearest thing I realized. I'd been seeing all these other people as the enemy, seeing this other friend of his as an enemy, seeing these other people he was hanging around with as the enemy, as a block to what I wanted, as if he had to only have either them or me. And it was so mental to think like that, because that's not how the world works. You know, I've got friends, but I also wanted him, and it's possible to have that. And I just got stuck in this shitty belief system, this shitty thinking, and I got caught in my wounds, and now we are where we are. So I've had to kind of try and overcome that. Now, should we reconnect at some point? I can heal my heart. The trust is another level for me, because for me, trust is earned. You don't have to earn my love, but you do have to earn my trust and my energy. And that should be the case for all of you. You should all feel like this about yourself. Your time, your energy, your space is precious. Your body, your mind, your soul is precious. Treat it that way. This is how we allow people to take advantage of us when we are in our weakened, disempowered state, when we are triggered, when we are so focused on the negativity. We are so susceptible to even more negativity. You just open yourself up to it. But when you learn how to transform negativity into positivity, turn your pain into power, you become fucking formidable. So, where I'm at today, as you see, I've just done some calisthenics because I've decided this month I'm starting my calisthenics training. I'm going to go for a run, see how I get on with that, and just go and enjoy the woods and the birds and nature for a bit. And then I'm going to just get through the little jobs that I've got to do today. And I'm going to do it with purpose. I'm going to do everything I do from this moment forward with purpose. I went to a Buddhist temple in Malvern in the UK last week. And that was the one thing I recognized, that I have been moving in such a rush. I haven't really been present. When you move with purpose, it's not about being slow, but when you move with purpose, intention, your actions really, they land so much better. Your manifestations come in so much easier and faster because there is the true intention behind it is what really gives it that oomph. So if you are going through something, this is what I did, and this is what I recommend for you guys. The first thing to do, if you are currently manifesting something, which we do all day, every day, whether you believe it or not, whether you're just unconsciously doing it through your thinking and your beliefs anyway, this is about being conscious. If you are consciously imagining and visualizing and wanting and desiring something, whether it's a new car, job, a person, money, anything. We've talked before about how to manifest. If you're not sure, go check out my other videos. Essentially, manifesting should be fun. It's supposed to come from the heart. You just desire something, you know that because you've desired it, it's already done, because you can't desire something that doesn't exist. So it has to exist somewhere in this timeline, this reality. So you've desired something, it's a done deal. Now all you have to do is align with that desire. That means taking aligned action. That means getting your energy, your frequency, your thinking and your emotions to match your desire. And this leads on to where we say living in the end. Living as if it's already happened, as if it's already done, like you've already got it. It's like imagining someone's told you you've just won the lottery. You've got £10 million coming to you, but it's going to take 30 days. How do you live those next 30 days knowing that you've got £10 million going into your account? What would you do? Who would you be? How would you show up? How would you feel? How would you behave? When you wake up in the morning to the moment you go to bed, who are you being? What state are you embodying? That is what you want to get into, and that is what draws that manifestation into your reality, makes it real, because you are living the experience emotionally and mentally before you are living it physically. Okay, a lot of people can't get hold of this logic of feeling it before seeing it. This is how it goes. So when you are embodying the state of someone who truly does feel, believe, trust that money is coming to them, that the job that they've applied for, they're absolutely going to get it, that they're going to get their dream house, that they're going to get their perfect partner, that, you know, they'll reunite with their ex, that their best friend will speak to them again. Doesn't matter what you're manifesting. That trust and belief has to come in that state. Okay, so the reason I'm mentioning this is because if you are triggered and you are going through a spiral and you're having a purge, or you're having some kind of really dark down day, stop manifesting. Stop all your techniques if you're doing them. Stop thinking about it, visualizing about it. Stop giving it your focus and your attention, and draw everything back to you. Bring your attention, bring your focus and everything back to you. Now, the reason this is so crucial that you do not manifest when you are in this lower vibrational state is because you are going to manifest the opposite of what you desire. Because you're in such a negative, low vibrational state of being, you can only manifest from where you are energetically. So you're going to be projecting out a lot of negative energy, negative thoughts, negative beliefs, and therefore you're going to get negative results, which is only going to further like pull you down into this lower state. So by totally cutting off all manifestation until you've got that uplift, until you are balanced and grounded again, you must not do it in this state. This is why so many people get hot cold results and they get kind of a bit wishy-washy, because they're constantly dipping in and out of states. Now that's fine, because that's part of the learning process, but I only say this because this is why so many people, myself included, have gotten probably more obsessed with 3D reality, and they become so attached to the outcomes because they get too fixated on the manifestation rather than the unfolding of it. And it's very hard to enjoy the unfolding of it when it's constantly triggering you and when you are in that low state. That's why realistically with manifesting, all you ever needed to do was just have the desire, acknowledge that it is a possibility, that it is real, and then align yourself to being the person who already has it, and focusing on choosing certain states of being that align with it, and then not worrying about it when the shit show happens, and learning to just be very, very detached from outcomes, from timings, all of those things. So I'm saying this because it's for your mental health, it's for your well-being, that you do not try to manifest when you are in a low vibrational state. That means you have to become very consciously aware of what you're thinking and how you are feeling in this now moment that you're experiencing, and you honor it. This is about self-respect, and God love this person that I've had this experience with. They have taught me self-worth on the most immense scale. And when I talk about the SP video, each SP that I manifested taught me something very valuable in each experience. So this is where you can also use gratitude as a superpower. So acknowledge and honor what you're thinking and feeling, and become so consciously aware of it. Now you can journal it, you can voice note it out, you can just allow it to just sit within you, but you acknowledge it and you honor it, and you say, I'm fucking hurt, I'm fucking feeling disrespected, I can't believe I didn't get that job, I am so depressed because I'm sick of seeing negative in my bank account. Honor it. Number 2, express it, let it out. So many people want to hold it in, and you can't do that. It will make you sick physically, but it is not what it's meant for. Emotions are energy in motion. They're meant to move through you. You're not meant to store them in your body. They're meant to be released. Now, that doesn't mean you've got to sit there and cry for 3 days and eat ice cream. If you want to do that, because it's still releasing. Crying is cleansing. Exercise. Go and hang out with friends more. Listen to good music. Read a good book. Take up a new hobby. Do something creative. You know? Do something that soothes you, makes you feel at peace, makes you calm. Breathwork, yoga, whatever. Move that energy through and out of you. Now, it could take you a couple of hours, it could take you a few days, or a couple of weeks, a couple of months. It used to take me a good month for me to purge something out. Now, I did it in about, I would say, 72 hours. It's the fastest I've ever gone through an ego death. So now you're at this stage of expressing it. So you've acknowledged it, you've accepted it, and you've honored it. Now you're releasing it. The third one is to transform it. This is often where most people kind of get a little bit stuck. But you can only transform it when you've come out of the trigger, when you've come out of the purging, when you are starting to feel like you're coming back up to the surface. Like you can feel like you can finally take a breath. Your body feels lighter. You're starting to actually feel your mood naturally lift. You feel just more at ease. This is when you really want to take stock of choosing your state of being. So you want to now start to think about, okay, that's done. I've moved through that. What have I learnt through this process, through this trigger? What clarity have I gained? What awareness have I gained? What have I learnt? And let me implement that and embody that into this new version of me. Because now that you've shifted, you've changed. That shift has caused your personality to change. Your whole identity is now shifted from one who was in lack to now one who is balanced. And now you're transforming the balanced into one who is abundant. So it is a shifting process. So all you need to do at this point is really start to do things that fulfill you, satisfy you, nurture you, lift you up, light you up, make you smile, make you laugh, bring you joy, excite you, inspire you. It doesn't matter what it is, you know? And don't feel guilty if what you feel intuitively, and you must trust your intuition on this. Your intuition will be extra heightened when you get to this state. Trust what your next step is. If it is to go and just sit in the park all day, do that. If it is to go join a running club, do that. If it's to start a cookery class, do that. Whatever you are feeling led to doesn't have to make sense, and it won't. Trust me, it won't make sense. Do it. Trust that pull. I need to go to that coffee shop today instead of that one. I really feel like I need to go to the gym today. I really feel like I should just call my friend up. I haven't spoken to her for ages. Whatever that pull is, applying for a new job, buying a scratch card, if it doesn't bring you an instant result, don't freak out. If you buy a scratch card and you're thinking, yeah, today's the day, and you don't get anything, this is also your moment to be able to look at 3D and go, oh well, I know I'm still going to win a big jackpot at some point. Do you see how you can instantly transform a negative to a positive in that moment? So you're going to practice getting the experience of transforming, transmuting a negative to a positive. Taking an experience, you know, lighting yourself up with it and just allowing it to unfold how it's meant to. You go to a coffee shop, but actually you didn't get the free coffee that you were manifesting. But hey ho, never mind. What you did get was you got complimented. What you did get was you noticed that people were opening doors for you, that people were really polite around you. And you suddenly realized, wow, since my energy shifted and now I'm feeling a bit happier, I'm noticing people around me treating me nicely, treating me with kindness and respect. And that's your evidence. The evidence is not whether you've manifested the thing. The evidence is the experience of you in the moments leading up to it. And recognizing that some manifestations come in better. They don't always come in the way you have expected it to happen. Like you might expect to get a job a certain way, but it doesn't happen that way. Like, for instance, I remember applying for a job as a receptionist. I didn't get the job and I was gutted because I truly believed I was going to be working at this dental practice. The next day I get a call and they say, how would you fancy being a dental nurse instead? And when I was at school, I always wanted to do nursing, but my teacher said I'd never be able to do it. Well, now I got the opportunity. I became a dental nurse, and then I went on to study and get other qualifications from it. And there's so many incidences like that, that things looked like they weren't working out, and actually they were. And so even in my situation at the moment with this SP, I have zero doubt that we'll reconnect. There's no doubt in my mind that we will in some way come back together. I have a really weird knowing and trust that this connection is definitely not done, but that there is still so much room to grow, because part of the pain was I saw the potential in this person and in our relationship. I saw the potential in who they could be and who we could be together and how we could build something amazing and grow. And we talked about going into business together. We had so many good ideas. The energy between us is on fire, which is no surprise because we're fire signs, but it just feels right. However, it doesn't quite feel aligned yet. And that is in part because people are going on journeys in different ways. So I've actually seen that him maybe going towards these friends is actually the bridge of events for me, and is actually bringing us closer together, and actually working for me, not against me. You have to see your circumstances working for you, not against you. So I'm taking this as, oh, this is just part of the unfolding. This is actually helping us, you know, reconnect. All I've got to do is just focus on me. And do you know the craziest thing is, I said to that person, do you know what? I'm done with men. That's it. I'm off. I'm definitely not dating, and I'm done. I'm focusing on me and just doing my own thing for a bit. And the very next day, and ever since, and it's been 3 weeks now, my inboxes, my DMs have been flooded with men trying to hit me up. Now, some have been the typical love bombing type, sending inappropriate pictures, and they've been shooed off very quick. But a lot have remained, and we've carried on just talking as friends. I've made it clear that it's a platonic thing, but hey, I'm open. If someone turns out to be, you know, more suitable, more aligned for me right now, then that's where I'm going to go if it feels right. But it's just, as you close one door, you know, another one opens. And I'm 46, but the ages that I was attracting were 27 was the youngest, up to about 40. And the best thing about it was the feedback I was getting from them. These guys were saying, wow, something about your eyes, your smile, you're so magnetic. I feel the power from you. I can't stop thinking about you. You're so attractive. You know, you're so magnetic. I just want to be around you. I want to meet you. Tell me more about you. And wanting to see more pictures of my eyes. I don't know. What is so special about my eyes? Can anyone tell me? I don't see it myself. I know they say the eyes are the windows to the soul, but I know it's an energetic thing, but it just baffles me. So it's been repeated about 10 times now. So there's obviously something in it. So yeah, now I am much more in this grounded state. I'm taking my aligned action in what feels best for me and is going to help me on my next phase, whatever this is, to do with career, to do with the coaching, to do with all my other dreams and goals, to do with this person, to do with my health, my fitness, everything. Things are falling into place. I'm just receiving and allowing them. Now, if you're a masculine, I pray, do the inner work. Do it. There is a real shift happening out there, a collective among men who are finally doing the inner work, facing their shadows and their demons and coming out of it into their empowered masculine states. And it is so needed, because women have done their work. The feminines have done their work. They have been doing this for probably about 5 years now, and I've seen the shift. You may have noticed it with women saying now they don't want to date anyone because they're sick of the behavior that they receive. And this isn't an attack on men, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that the behavior dynamics between men and women have shifted in the wrong directions for well over 2 decades now. Women have been forced into their masculine. They've been forced into the workplace, away from being the natural role of nurturer, caregiver, supporter. And the men have been forced into roles that have emasculated them. They have been demonized for a lot of things. And they haven't helped themselves by having this crass attitude of everything has to be around sex and power and control. And that only comes from a place of feeling inadequate and insecure and weak. So the women have done the work to get away from this masculine energy that they've been pushed into. And they're seeking a masculine man to step up and to be in that leadership role, the natural embodiment that masculines should be in. Leadership, power, taking charge, not control, to be confident and secure in themselves so that they can protect and care and support their partners. It's a two-way thing. The balance goes both ways. We have masculine and feminine in each of us, but that behavioral dynamic has crossed over and we need to bring it back. So I urge you, please, if you're doing the inner work, well done, keep going, don't stop. There is a massive collective awakening happening amongst men at the moment, and if you need extra support, my details are in the Dropbox below. You can always work with me on a one-to-one. I will be putting courses out soon, so just bear with me on that. or go and join some men's groups. There are so many out there, hiking groups, there's lots of barbers that do it, there's loads of men's mental health organizations. Now, as I say, talking is good, but the action that is required to do the healing work is what is necessary. It's okay to want to do it, and it's great to be willing, but you've got to actually do it. There's no trying, there's either doing or not doing, as Yoda said. So that's my story. That is my take on what I would do, the steps I would follow. If you're going through it and you need support, please get in touch. Put some comments down below about your thoughts on the things that I've just discussed, your experiences, any advice you'd like, and sharing your ideas on all of this. And if you need any help, you know where to find me. But yeah, thank you, and I will talk to you all again soon. Take care. Bye.